Hey everybody, Dalskin with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another fragrance review. This time we're going to be taking a look at a new fragrance from the house of Parfums Vintage. This one is Isla Tropical Prive. So for those of you who are unaware, this is their take on Creed's Virgin Island water. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how these two compare, the similarities and the differences, and kind of clear up a few other questions regarding the differences between Isla Tropical Prive and the regular Isla Tropical. I'm going to cover all that stuff in this video. I also have a carded sample of this fragrance they sent out to me before they sent out the bottle, so I had some time to test it from the sample before I got the bottle in. And I'm going to be giving this away to one of you guys, so make sure you stay tuned to somewhere around the end of the video where I tell you how you can enter that giveaway. So Isla Tropical Prive, when I first spray this on, what I get right away is lime. I get hit with a lot of lime right in the opening. It smells like you're cutting into nice fresh lime. It's very potent, it's very strong, and it smells very refreshing and bright and just uplifting. After it sits on my skin for a while, some coconut starts to work its way in along with a little bit of rum. The coconut and the rum gives it a nice sweet, boozy, and tropical feel overall, and it really mixes well with the lime, which gives it that nice bright pop. There's also sugar listed as a note as well, which gives it more of a sweetness. Overall, this is like a sweeter summer fragrance. Typically, when it comes to summer fragrances, they're more fresh, they're more bright, but this one kind of goes in the direction of a gourmand a little bit with the coconut, with the rum, with the sugar. Just gives it a little bit more of a sweet touch. For me though, personally, the main player out of everything throughout a lot of the fragrance though is that lime. The lime is very prominent and it really sticks out above everything else. So I want to touch on the differences between Isla Tropical Prive, which is this one, and Isla Tropical. So I talked directly to the perfumer and I asked him when I got both of the samples in, I noticed that I actually got more lime from this version here, the Prive version. So I asked him if, my nose is correct, if I'm getting more lime from this one than the other one. From the regular Isla Tropical, I was picking up more coconut and less lime. And I asked him, and what he told me was that there's actually less lime in the Prive version. However, he has increased the oil to alcohol ratio in the Prive version, and that gives the impression of a lot more lime. So that's coming straight from him, and a few people got confused when I told them that in the Facebook groups and things like that. But just to sum it up, there's less lime in this technically, but the fact that he has increased the concentration to make it more of a stronger concentrated version, hence the Prive, that actually makes the lime stick out a little bit more. And so that's what you'll notice. This version has a lot more lime, and the regular Isla Tropical version has a lot more coconut. So you are getting not only a more concentrated version, a more stronger version here with this one, but you're also getting an enhanced lime note. So really it comes down to deciding which note you like better in your Virgin Island water. Do you like that nice juicy lime, or do you like that sweeter coconut smell? Depending on what your answer is will depend on which one of these that you should go with. When I was talking to him more, he said that both versions were based off a 2010 batch of Virgin Island water, and right here I have a 2008 batch, so it's a couple years older, but that's still very much on par with my bottle of Isla Prive. So my bottle here is actually pretty coconut heavy, and that's one of the things that you'll notice. Typically older batches of Virgin Island water are going to be a little bit more coconut heavy, and the newer batches are a little bit more fresh with more of a lime pop. And comparing this to the Isla Tropical, just the sample I have of that one with more coconut, they're very, very close to each other. And even comparing this to Isla Tropical Prive in the opening, they're very close as well, because I still do get a lot of lime from this older batch of Virgin Island water. When I first sprayed on, that lime pops off and it really hits. It's very prominent right away, but it does start to go a little bit more sweet, a little bit more gourmand and boozy smelling as time goes on. It gets a little bit more rich, but there is still a lot of lime in this in the opening. And that's what I get with this one. However though, lime does stay more prominent throughout the whole scent. There is still that coconut, that rum, that sugar giving it some sweetness, but for the most part, to my nose, this does stay very focused on lime, and just overall is a little bit more of a brighter take on Virgin Island water. Remember though, like I mentioned, he did say that both of these versions were based off a 2010 batch, so this does still have the scent profile, the scent character of this older batch, but it just has the concentration tweaked to which increases the lime note. So I'm not saying that this smells like newer batches and Isla Tropical smells like older batches, because like I mentioned, to my nose, this still is very, very close to my older batch batch of virgin island water, and I actually have a flacon of a 2017 batch of virgin island water, and it's quite a bit different than this and my bottle here. This still is based off of those older batches. The concentration is just tweaked a little bit, gives you a little bit more of a lime pop, and obviously a higher concentrated fragrance. So both still are based off of the older batches, which is what he was going for. Those do perform a lot better. I get solid performance, which I'll touch on in a minute. It just comes down to a matter of, do you want more coconut or do you want more lime? Talking about performance of this scent, I get good performance from it. Longevity wise, I'm getting about 7 to 8 hours on my skin, and these sprayers are very good. They do have a lot of distribution, so I was going with, about 2 sprays typically is what I do for testing. Projection wise, it pushes out a little bit. Definitely not overly strong, but it's not a skin scent either. It sits about right in the middle in terms of projection, so it does push out a little bit and it makes itself known. It has really solid performance, and you would expect it to, since it does have those darker coconut, rum, sugar notes, some of those sweeter notes. That really helps it to stick around on your skin, and it definitely does. Definitely on par with my older batch of virgin island water in terms of performance. This might last a little bit longer than my virgin island water does by a little bit, but nonetheless it is still very good. This fragrance is best suited for more casual wear in the summertime, in my opinion. Definitely not a dressed up scent or a formal fragrance or anything like that. This is a very fun, tropical smelling scent. People kind of compare it to Malibu rum a little bit because it does have obviously that rum note, a little bit of a alcohol quality to it. It's got the lime, it's got the coconut, so it does have a little bit of that type of scent. And because of that, it's a very playful and fun overall scent. So this is not something that I would really wear to, any sort of dressed up event. I probably wouldn't wear this one to work that often. You could wear this pretty much anywhere if you wanted to, but for me, it's more of a casual, fun fragrance for summertime. Also more of a night out scent in my opinion, because it does have a little bit more of that sweet smell to it. This is something I'd maybe wear for like a casual dinner out, or if you're just hanging out around your place, going for a dinner, whatever the case may be, nothing too dressed up, just kind of a casual dinner. In the summertime, this would work great for that. During the daytime, I would probably reach for something a little bit more fresh like Millésime Imperial or Irolfa. Could still wear this one just in the really, really high summer heat. It may start to be a little bit too sweet if the sun is beating down on you and it's like a 90-degree day, because this fragrance does have a lot of depth and a lot of sweetness to it. But when nighttime comes around and it starts to cool off, that's when I think this fragrance is best suited for. So really, it's a casual scent for spring and summertime in my opinion. Probably one of the less versatile fragrances from Parfums Vintage, and alternatively one of the less versatile fragrances from Creed, just because again it is a little bit different than what they normally release. A lot of their scents are very mass pleasing and very versatile. This one though is a little bit more specific. It's not going to be quite for every situation because of the overall fun, casual quality that it has, and just overall a very summer smelling fragrance as well. This is something that would be very out of place if you're wearing it in the winter time. Just doesn't really fit. Compliment factor on this fragrance is going to be pretty good as well. Not everyone is going to like this scent just because it is a little bit different. Not everyone likes the smell of coconut, and that's just kind of how it is. And I do get coconut in both of these scents. Even though this is the more lime dominated version, you still do get that coconut in here, so that's something you're going to be aware of. Not everyone's going to like that scent, that smell, or that note, but it is still going to be a pretty good compliment getter for you. Typically, performance will hold back compliments because if people can't smell it, then you're not going to get compliments. But like I mentioned with this stuff here, it performs good. It gets good longevity, projects out decently, so people are going to be able to smell it on you. And if you're wearing it in the appropriate situation, a nice casual time in the summertime, on a vacation on the beach, you're at a resort or going to a pool or whatever the case may be, this stuff is really going to do good for you. However, if you're wearing it as a formal fragrance, it might not be the same case, but you never know. So my final thoughts on this fragrance, comparing it back to virgin island water, it's very close. Like I mentioned, this and the regular version, Isla Tropical, both very close to my batch of virgin island water. Keep in mind this is an 08 batch. These were based off of 2010. So those of you out there with, the newer 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 batches, this may not smell as similar to what you have. And that's not that it's a bad clone or a bad inspiration of this fragrance. It's just that it was based off an older formulation of the scent back when it was stronger, back when the scent profile was a little bit tweaked. It's just kind of going back to the roots of when this fragrance was first released, or at least within a few years of when it was first released. So I just want to cover this one more time. If you want more lime from this fragrance, you're going to want to go with Isla Tropical Prive, which is this one. If you want more of that coconut, more of that sweetness, go with the regular Isla Tropical. Like I mentioned already, both are based off a 2010 batch, so they do both have that older style formulation. All the difference is the concentration in this one is tweaked, so more lime is present, and then you're also getting a stronger, more concentrated version of the scent. So guys, that is my review on Isla Tropical Prive. Oh, and look at me jumping in here like an idiot at the end. I forgot to mention how you can enter the giveaway for the sample. If you want to enter the giveaway, all you had to do is leave a comment down below saying you want to be entered in the giveaway. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and things like that, and you'll be put in to enter for the giveaway. Also, while I'm here, make sure to go check out my website, chaosfragrances.com. Adding a lot of designer scents at extremely competitive prices. I'm competing with websites like FragranceNet, FragranceX, Max Aroma, trying to beat their prices or at least come close to them. Also offer fast shipping. Usually people are getting their packages in about 2 to 3 days. Also, when you go over to the website, a pop-up box will come up. If you enter your email, you'll get a 5% off discount code for your first order. That's just my gift for you for my first customers. So again, if you want that discount, go sign up on the mailing list. Let me know down below if you're interested in trying this one, and that's going to do it, guys. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.